shortly. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting, brought to you by Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you shortly. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting, brought to you by Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you shortly. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting, brought to you by Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you shortly. Hello, and welcome to this live stream of today's public meeting, brought to you by Downtown Grand Rapids, Inc. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you shortly.
Call the meeting to order for the Monroe North TIFA. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming out on this blustery winter day. The first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes from April 15, and that was a while ago, I realize. Tim and I have talked and you've received the meeting cancellations. I just can't call a meeting if we don't have enough substance to meet. I want to respect your time more than that. So bear with us. We have a new meeting schedule coming up, but bear with us if there isn't a reason to meet. We're not going to. So, in the minutes, I did want to point out in number 4, the motion says Mayor Win, and that needs to be changed to Rick Win. We can smile a little. And
I wrote those minutes.
oh, okay.
Let's make sure people. Yeah.
So I'd like to make that edit before we move for the.
Well, I'll make the motion with the edit.
Okay, thank you, Rick. Thank you, Celeste. All right, any questions? All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The next item is, well, we have two different financial approvals Tricia's got for us, June 30, and then your agenda says September 30, but it's actually October 31, right? So take it away, Tricia.
Yeah, in your packet are two sets of statements. The June 30 statements are marked preliminary. However, since I sent these off to be part of the agenda packet, I have now seen the statements back from the auditors, and there will be no changes to these numbers. So these are actually the final numbers. And of course, your final audit or actual audited statements will come back before the board, probably January, February is usually the time frame that they happen. I'm happy to take any questions on the final statements, if anybody has any.
And you need a motion and approval for statement C?
To accept, yes.
To accept statement C.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.
All right, and then your set of statements for October 31, at the bottom of the balance sheet, that was not prepared on September 26th. That was actually prepared on December 8th. I just didn't update that. Everything is looking good so far. Your property tax increment revenue has come in. Winter taxes have not been posted yet. Nice payment on Canal Street Park. Happy to take any questions, but everything's pretty business as usual.
So I know you've admonished us to spend these funds that we've been collecting for the years, and we are, especially at Canal Street Park. So I think we're getting there.
Yep.
So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Could I have a motion to accept statement C?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
Support, thank you. Any questions from the board? All right, all in favor of accepting statement C, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, that carries, thank you.
Mr. Chair, can I add one thing? We have one housekeeping piece. These meeting dates for next year
Okay.
are at your seats, and we want to actually go ahead and approve those just so it's in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. So I need two things. One, take a look at the schedule, see if you have any conflicts. And then we need a motion to amend the agenda to approve the regular meeting schedule, and then we need to vote to actually approve the schedule. Does that make
So
sense?
do we have to have a motion to add it to the agenda
Yes, you
and then a motion to approve
That's
it?
right, sorry. Yep.
Just so we want to make sure we're checking all the boxes
All right.
ahead of the new year.
You bet.
Okay.
I'll move that we add it to the agenda.
Thank you, Rick.
Second.
Thank you, Celeste. All right, all in favor of adding the schedule to the agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's just take this one, and it's not in a particular order, but let's just deal with this one since we've got it in front of us. Do we have a motion to approve the proposed schedule?
Moved.
Thank you,
Support.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Rick. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks for keeping us on track, everybody.
Now we can move on.
All right, so now to item 5 on our agenda. Mark, you're going to share with us about the GR Forward consultant selection, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So yeah, I think that the memo does a pretty good job of outlining the process to date in this selection. Back in late July of this year, we put out an RFQ, a request for qualifications, to look for consultants to do an update to the GR Forward plan. And we received 14 submissions. And then from about mid-August through mid-November, we went through a process of selecting a short list of consultants and then ultimately doing interviews with 3 of those 14 submissions and selecting a consultant to move forward with. It was unanimous from our 7-member review committee to move forward with Interface. Interface, if you remember, is the firm that originally did the GR Forward plan. So there's some continuity in that, and I think that that was certainly a piece of the discussion. One of the things that I realized when we were having this same discussion at the DDA previously is that one of the things that that Interface talked about during their interview was looking at their plan that they did 10 years ago, doing a deep dive into that plan, and kind of trying to figure out, okay, where did we make some mistakes? Where can we make some improvements? And I think just the idea that they were willing to look at their past work and, be critical of it and learn from it is a really important piece of this kind of work, because this is not a redo of an entire plan. This is an update to an existing plan. And I think we're treating it as such. And that's one of the other pieces of this process when we went through the selection, is that the image over here of the half the country shows all the work that they've been doing roughly since they did that first GR Forward plan. So they've done about 20 to 25 downtown specific plans, not city plans, not district plans, but mostly downtown plans, in a variety of different scales of cities and places. The one that is interesting is in the middle image, the Macon, Georgia action plan and update. So they did a plan for that city or that downtown in 2015, did an update to that plan in 2023. So roughly the same kind of timeline that we're working with. So they have some experience in updating their plans, I think, and that's also so important. And then the last image that you see from their submission is sort of the consultant team that they have proposed at that time. So we're still working with them today, and I think for at least the next couple of weeks, refining both that team, the scope that we're going to be taking on with this project, and then ultimately the fees that would be associated with that scope. So I think we'll know more at the end of the year. The goal is to get off this project and start it in early January. There's not really a whole lot that people are going to be doing from now until then because of the holidays. So we have a little bit of time to refine that scope. And in the meantime, what we want to do is make sure that we have some funds available as we move forward with the plan. So as we negotiate this contract, we are coming to both the DDA this morning and you guys today to authorize funding. And we're asking for an authorization of $50,000 from the Monroe North TIFA. That was something that was in the fiscal year 26 budget for this project. The DDA authorized their share at the earlier meeting today. And then our anticipation is that we will come back to the DDA and fill in whatever gap that is when we get the scope and the fees refined, probably late December, early January. And so with that, I am happy to take any questions or have comments. The one thing I would note is that we are in the process of working through and building a steering committee for this project. We had built a 7-member review committee. At this point in time, we have 4 members now, I think, interested in carrying on in that capacity in the steering committee. The Monroe North TIFA is going to be represented by Sarah, and I think the DDA has a couple of representations. But if you guys have any comments or, interest in populating that steering committee, we're happy to have that conversation. So with that, I'll take questions and comments.
Yeah, any questions for Mark?
When do you start to see the results from this work?
We would probably expect this to be about a year-long process.
Okay.
At this point in time. I think we'll know a little bit more once we have that scope defined. There's a lot of pieces and parts that we want to really scrutinize, particularly about retail, economics, and even the public engagement portion of it.
Thank you.
I'll move approval.
Thank you. So we have a motion and support for the expenditure of $50,000 for our portion to fund this. It's budgeted. Yep. So this is the next step. So all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're looking forward to the update.
We will keep you posted.
Yeah. Okay. Did you get some info that you can share, or is it up to you, Mark or Sarah?
They're not here. Mark just said he's on the way.
Okay.
He said he'd be here at 10:15.
Okay, should we,
3 minutes.
do you want to do your report first?
Yeah, I
We
was
just
gonna
change the
suggest,
agenda order?
Maybe we jump, and then when he gets here.
Great. All right, take it away, Tim.
So a couple of things wanted to mention to you all. One, we wrapped up a successful Return to the River event back when it was sunny and warm. We have already started planning for the year ahead. These are just some images from 25. But save the date for August 22 and 23 in 2026. Event will be again in the Monroe North area. I put in air quotes. A portion of it is in the Tifa. So hopefully you all get a chance to go out and see it and enjoy it. Also wanted to point out Canal Park is staying on track. Construction is a little bit stalled out just because of the weather, but they are fully expecting to wrap up on schedule, so they should be ending a little ahead of this time next year. So they expect to be under construction through the fall of 2026, but they'll be on schedule, and look forward to that space being open again and being able to be used by the neighborhood and the businesses. Also wanted to highlight the new Corwell housing project that broke ground just a little while ago, adding new housing units up there for residents. Great to see that on a surface parking lot, and just looking forward to the new vibrancy coming to the neighborhood. Grand River Greenway, just wanted to point out, so the Canal Park is going to be tied into the Grand River Greenway and the Greenway network. I think a lot of you are in the loop on that, but this will connect essentially Grand Rapids out to the lakeshore, over to Lowell, and on an off-street trail network. So a lot of work happening in and around downtown, also out towards Lowell on this. So you'll be hearing a lot about it over the next few years, but yeah, it's a wonderful project moving ahead. Also wanted to give you a heads up on the Dash. The Mobile GR department and the Rapid held a work session on potential alterations to the Dash routes. That was a few months ago. Last report, they're expecting to have some recommendations in the early winter that would inform the budget going forward. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll of course keep the board informed, and may see some recommendations in the budget for that. And then not in the Tifa, but just so you're tracking along with the transformational projects in downtown. The amphitheater is slated to be open in May of 2026. And some shows have already been announced, as I'm sure you've seen. And then the soccer stadium over on the west side is starting to take shape. They put up some steel structure there just a couple weeks ago. So things are moving along, and a lot happening in downtown, but just wanted to highlight that, and happy to take any questions.
Can you go back to the canal?
Yeah.
So I just want to flag here.
You're there.
Yeah, so my concern, folks, and I just want to flag it because, this is something we can totally do a course shift on. My dream is to have the Grand River look as much as possible like the Charles River. Right now, there are 300 people in the Charles River, making me wish I knew how to scull. When we're done with all of our river work, the real question, and this is something I'm starting to say about parks all the time, is that if you don't have something to do at a park, no one's going to be there. And so my really grumpy way to say it is, if you want an accurate rendering of a park with nothing to do at it, you may as well just put a bunch of tents on it. Because nature abhors a vacuum. Now, if you look at that architect's rendering, somebody, has a kayak in theory sitting on a little bit of concrete there. So I bought my first kayak when I was 12 years old. If I can figure out how to viably kayak on the Grand River, I'm going to do it. Just like I bike everywhere so that everyone can see that it's possible to bike, I'm going to start kayaking on the Grand River. The problem is, how do you get David LeGrand on the Grand River at the lunch hour? There's two ways to do that, and that's not one of them. The two ways to do it is to have a kayak rental place, which they got in downtown Lansing, where I can go pay $10. I can walk down there from City Hall in my shorts, hope no one steals my wallet, put it in my shoes, and take a kayak out for an hour. No one stole my wallet ever in Lansing, which is great. The other option is you do boat lockers. So what the Charles River does is it has a whole bunch of places where you can store watercraft along the water's edge. So for David LeGrand to take his own kayak to that spot, he's got to go home, get his car, figure out where he put his roof racks, put them on his car, get his kayak out of his garage, put it on the roof racks, tie it down, make sure it's tied down well enough. Then he's got to drive over there, and then he's half an hour past his lunch break. He's not getting into the water. Whereas if David LeGrand can take his bike, get up there in 3 minutes, park his bike, lock it. There's a storage locker there that he pays $200 a season for. It's got a combination on it. A kayak locker is basically only has to be about 2 feet by 2 feet by 15 feet deep. So like that screen could be about, if it was 15 feet deep, like that space could store about 10 kayaks. So you could and you could scale this up. So like we could build a kayak storage locker, and if there's a waiting list for it, you can build another one. Like somebody's got to be able to fab it up for us. But like if there were kayak lockers there, yuppies will start coming down and using the river and actually getting wet. And until that happens, I keep seeing architectural drawings of like people sitting and gazing at the river. It's not the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Like the sun doesn't set over it. Like if I want to go look at beautiful water, I'm going to go to Lake Michigan. If I want to use some water, I want the water that's close to me. So if I can figure out how to use that water, great. Otherwise, I'm worried that the canal park is a lot of money invested. What's my outcome from that? Is it something that I can look at in person that looks like that drawing, or is it my outcome that people can use the river? And I don't think that gets us to using the river. It gets us to dipping your toes in it maybe, or feeding some ducks, but it doesn't get my kayak in the river. Sorry, that's a long rant, but I guess my point is, I think all of the money we're spending on the transformation, that's like what, $10 million? There's real money went in there. What?
9 overall.
Yeah, I always round. I'm a rounder. So $10 million give or take, right? That's a lot of money for a lot of hard work. A kayak storage locker does not cost $10 million, but you add it and you all of a sudden make that relevant. So if somebody else has like other ideas, but I guess my point is like chin-up bars, like something. Like I want people to. So we should all be thinking, if you got a park, what's it good for?
Well, I would point out there is exercise equipment up and down. Both in Canal and...
Yeah, I wasn't criticizing.
No, I know, but I also wanted to offer the new playground that's going in there in Pavilion. So there are activation points along the way. And then heard on the kayak stuff. I think that is something that...
Yeah, it's a good comment. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm just going to keep banging that drum.
Share your enthusiasm for it. We want people to get in the river.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
So I don't mean that to be negative. I'm just framing like what real success would look like for me is not just people being in the park, but people being in the water and how you make that happen. Again, my life is like explaining how pedestrians actually work to people who are designing things for pedestrians who don't walk anywhere, or building how bikes actually work for people who plan things that don't actually bike anywhere. And similarly, like I use kayaks.
And I think you're already signing yourself up to be a part of a dragon boat team. This is where they launched the dragon boat races from. So we're hearing that you're signing up for it.
Yeah, and I've already worked out, like I have a really fast kayak, which I don't think I'm going to be able to put in one of those lockers because it's too long. But I have this is geeky, and I'm sorry I'm taking everybody's time, but basically my whole life I've had kayaks that go walking speed. You can buy kayaks that go running speed. They just are very expensive and they're very hard to use. And I just bought one.
Great.
Fell out of it a lot.
Well, we look forward to seeing you in the river. All right. Thank you, Tim. Does anyone have any other comments or questions for Tim from his report?
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. And our guest has arrived. And apologies.
Mark.
We thought we were getting gaslit. It's in her calendar at 10:30 as well.
Ow.
So she's on her way.
Apologies for that, for any confusion.
Welcome, Mark. We adjusted our order in the agenda so we could fit you in.
And Mr. Mayor, I believe there is kayak rental at Reed's Lake, right behind the police station.
You're right.
Oh, I know. Reed's Lake is my exercise facility, so thank you for your tax dollars. That's the way I make my peace with East Grand Rapids. Like, you're my gym. Like, I bike there, I use your pool, but I like that in Grand Rapids too.
Today I'm just coming to do a little bit of an update on the Monroe North Business Association. And one thing that's really, I think, particular to our association is it's dominated almost by the most active people who are landowners. They're heavily into retail, they're heavily into hotels. So we have a very cohesive group. I've been visiting the other associations, like Parkside, they have a lot of residential components to it, a lot of the charity components, some of the business components. So they have conflicting goals. Maybe Stockbridge is a little bit more like us with some more retail, but maybe they don't get quite as involved and quite active. And I bring that up because we went through a great process. Should we use it? All right.
People watch that.
Is it already, am I live?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I didn't see we have a DJ in the corner. I love that. And what we went through with the talent grant application was really good for us because it got us all united and together. And to have a common enemy or a common goal really fired up people and got them activated. We got 60 businesses involved, whereas before that, it was never more than 20 or 25 at a meeting. So we're kind of looking for our next goal. So if you can think of something that we can band together, whether it's to fight something or to encourage something, love to hear about that. I just want to go through the things that we're doing now and the things that we want to do. So the things that we've done so far, that talent grant was huge for us to be able to get that kind of dollars in to help the Allen Division. For those of you that don't know, the application was submitted in the fall. I can't remember the numbers, but we're hoping for $5 million-ish out of this, and it's going to go towards the combination of Ionian Division as well as the switch back down the hill and some pedestrian issues. Things that we're doing right now, our big one is that we're trying to rebrand to be the River North District. So we are currently Monroe North. Most people refer to us as North Monroe. We had to get our businesses that all lined up on Monroe to get all in a unanimous agreement that they were okay dropping Monroe from our district and going with River. Those of you in the know about what may happen with aquariums or other things down there, we're kind of really leaning into the river aspect that we're redoing all of our logo work to really show more fish and water and river and bridge, and then a little bit of the retail and the housing things that we have in there. And that's a process that we've already started doing, and it'll end with what we want to do is a lot more locational branding. We have an opportunity. We only have like 6 to 8 streets that really come in and out of our area. So if we somehow got the funding, we want to do some arches. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for, or welcome to. And on top of that, we want to do visual branding in our neighborhood. We're hoping that as we redo this logo, we'll be able to take a unique color and pull it out and maybe do our light posts or our benches and some stuff like that. Another thing that we want to do is we'd love to get into the ambassador program, but we're trying to work that out. It's a little tough on the taxing situation. Some of the housing components, they feel like they're overly taxed. When you look at someone like Autodye with 13 acres, I think they would pay double what one person in 1,000 square foot apartment would pay. So we didn't really push that through very well. But if there's an opportunity for us to equitably get in the program, we really do want to. And we want to really create an area where maybe you would go to get dropped off, kind of like the West Side has and downtown the Hotel District has. We'd love to be a place where there's just kind of an Uber drop-off point. People get off. It's probably going to be on the river somewhere, kind of walk around and go visit some of the retail establishments. And we really appreciate the support we've been getting from you guys. Working with Melvin's been great. You guys are an awesome, the way you support all of us and do what you do. I know our meeting times don't always line up for DGRI people to come to it, but when they can, they do, and we really appreciate that. I don't know if there was any other expectations about today. I just wanted to fill you in.
No, I appreciate you again. Sorry on the scheduling snafu. Appreciate you kind of just giving an overview of what the Business Association's been doing. I know your leadership, along with Sarah's, really kind of re-energized that group. So
there's a lot in the north side that could be happening. And I know that you've been at the table for a lot of those discussions. But when you go, I'm not even including Autodye because that's probably a $50 million move with all their presses. But if you go just north of Autodye to that kind of where the water filter plant is, all the way up to Leonard, there's a lot of stuff that is or could be for sale in there, and we're all really, really excited to kind of see what happens in that neighborhood. A lot of meetings and stuff regarding that area, but as far as I know, nothing's really been decided or committed.
So Mark, just to sort of loop you in on the dreaming, and I may have already done this, but there's private investment, and then there's how can, government or quasi-government organizations facilitate or do some macro stuff that'll untap, right? And the two dreams, these are not cheap, right? They're not easy. One would be an actual pedestrian bridge across Division. It's great to have the switchback, but then you wind up, at what may as well be a
the Belknap Association is researching a funicular as well.
Yeah, and that would be great too. The other point is that Belknap has pointed out, and I don't think I've said it. Well, I don't know. This group hasn't met since 1902, but
since April.
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting these are open meetings, and some reporter's going to quote me. looking, really pulling back. There's a group in Belknap who made a really interesting point. Like in the last 10 or 20 years, a lot of people have talked about rails to trails. There's an opportunity, I think, I'm not sure, there may be an opportunity for rails and trails. There is a rail line which runs from Belknap and comes out by Griff's Ice House, roughly. And it used to have 3 sets of tracks on it, and now it has 1 set of tracks, which means it's got real estate. So if there were a way to safely divide off the train use from the now not train use but still easement land, you could actually pull energy. Those 2 neighborhoods could talk to each other. So how Belknap Lookout talks to Monroe North or River North is a big macro thing that your business association is not going to solve.
I've met with them, as and you may be aware, that their square includes a lot of area.
Right.
It goes north way past Leonard, it goes south way past Michigan, goes all the way to the river, goes about 20 blocks inland. And so we've talked about that, and we've said as a business association, we don't feel like we're part of them. They asked us to put like Belknap on the signage we want to do, and I said, if the city forces me to, we totally will. But it won't be our option to have a double co-branding. But they're interested in getting the residents of Monroe North to join their association. I'm all for that. I don't want residences in the business association, too many conflicting goals. So I think that'd be great. But that's a lot. If you're up on the hill, you're going to have a whole lot of different sets of needs than if you're down on the water. So I wish them the best, but that's going to be tough to manage.
And we're never going to get rid of the 200-foot drop or whatever it is. But ultimately, to get those neighborhoods talking, there's got to be, or actually having energy going between the two. You're going to need some real investment in some fairly hard to accomplish stuff, like a funicular or a pedestrian bridge or a rails to trails, and. So I'm just. When I think about the
funds.
when I think about the great leap forward for your neighborhood and your business association, it's more development where you already are, but it's also communication, right? And it's doable to get you downtown because it's not a 200-foot drop. But the residential neighborhood, getting that connection going is exciting, but a long-term goal, I think. So, if you're looking for a next big challenge, you asked.
Hey, we got it. That's just a big fundraising challenge for us. We're looking at $3 to $5 million for something of that scale.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else, I'm always reachable. Mark@sekia.com is my email. Those of you online as well.
Thank you, Mark.
guys.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, we covered a lot in our agenda. I think we're at the public comment, right, section. So is there any public comment? Nope. All right. How about board member discussion? Anything for the good of the group? Anybody have anything?
One thing I'd add
Jim.
to the mayor's comments about using the river, we have a place in South Haven too, and one thing both the city and a number of the nonprofits do because of the water and getting the use is they actually sponsor life jackets for kids that they put out. And again, it's not a major expense, but if you have kids and you're near the water, not everybody carries around a life jacket.
Yeah. Good point. Thanks, Jim. Anyone else? All right. Thank you all for coming. We'll adjourn the meeting. Have a happy holidays, everyone.